Thank you for joining me. On today's episode of Bible Blueprint of the New Testament, we are looking at the book of Matthew. Now, the book of Matthew is first in order of the New Testament. There are 28 chapters in the book, and the type of book it is gospel and synoptic. An overview of the book of Matthew. One of the gospels. This book is an account and testimony of Jesus Christ. It was written by Matthew, an educated tax collector who was one of the original 12 apostles. His account is unique in that it was written for the Jewish people to persuade them that Jesus was the promised Messiah. Matthew understood the importance of supporting his testimony with Old Testament prophecy, which he cited more than 50 times. The book is a balance of stories, teachings, miracles, and prophecies. Now, the book was written between 50 to 60 AD. The time period covered is 70 BC to 26 AD, and the author is Matthew the Apostle. Now, there are 5 sections to the book of Matthew. Section 1, the birth of Christ, singular to this gospel. We see this in chapters 1 through 2. Matthew gives the genealogy of Jesus Christ going back to Abraham. When Joseph is hesitant to wed Mary, an angel appears to him and tells him not to fear taking her as his wife. Matthew also tells of the Magi, Herod's slaughters of babies, the escape to Egypt, and Jesus' family's return to Nazareth. The second section is the teachings of Christ, singular to this gospel. We see this in chapters 3 through 25. Matthew shares the Sermon on the Mount of the 23 parables included. 9 are original and include the parable of the sower, the parable of the 10 virgins, and the parable of the sheep and the goats. Section 3, the miracles of Christ, singular to this gospel. See this also in chapters 3 through 25. Of the 18 miracles mentioned, Matthew tells of 2 that are unique. Peter walking on the sea and the coin found in the fish to pay the temple tax. A healing of 2 blind men may also be unique. Section 4, the prophecies of Christ, singular to this gospel. We also see this in chapters 3 through 25. Matthew's account refers to Peter as the rock of the future church. He also shares Christ's prophecies that the kingdom would be handed over to the Gentiles, that the destruction of the temple would occur in less than 50 years, and a famous description of the end times. Section 5, the death, resurrection, and ascension details singular to this gospel. We see this in chapters 26 through 28. Matthew recounts the 30 pieces of silver and the suicide of Judas, Pilate's wife's disturbing dream, the earthquake at the resurrection, and the Great Commission to share Christ's teachings with the world. All right, that brings us to the end of our overview on the book of Matthew. That's all for now. God bless.